iAcquire, which is a digital marketing / content marketing agency based in Phoenix and New York City. So I'm remote here actually, working from my home in South Minneapolis. And then also Clear Voice, that is a product that we launched that's essentially a content marketing platform that supports all the stuff that we're going to talk about today. So today I'm going to talk about the convergence of SEO and PR and how to get not only ink but also links. So more specifically, I'll go into the details about link reclamation, co-marketing, press releases, and then kind of leveraging that contributor journalism model for PR, and then also SEO. So, and then I'll end with tools and fundamental skill set for basically getting inks and links, as I mentioned. So we're all in this together. SEO and PR, they're kind of one and the same, as Josh mentioned. So the goal of public relations is to create attention, awareness, and trust by getting people to talk about your brand, namely the media to talk about your brand. Whereas SEO really is creating attention, awareness, and trust through search engine ranks. So now the process of outreaching is very similar now. So we have reaching out to relevant publications, making a timely, targeted, relevant pitch, and providing great content for that publisher. So the first tactic that I like to talk about is link reclamation. Now, many of you guys, I think I saw on the attendee roster, are in-house marketers. So, in that case, there's a lot of silo between the PR division and then the SEO division. So, and I've been on both the online marketing side or SEO side, and then also the public relations side as well. So I've seen that there's kind of a disconnect between the two, and a lot of times public relations teams, a KPI of theirs is not tied to links, it's just tied to media placements or impressions. So given that, it's very important to leverage Boolean search terms, monitoring tools like Meltwater, Cision, or Vocus to get that media list and go through and see what brand mentions that you have are not linked to. So, and this is a random image, but it's two birds just sharing a pebble, because I thought it would be perfect. Sharing is caring. So, co-marketing campaigns, that's the next thing that I like to talk about. So, co-marketing campaigns essentially is when two or more brands work together to create a co-branded offer, campaign, study, or content. So the return of that is awesome. So as I mentioned, I work for a small agency called iAcquire. We're no more than 100 people. The brand awareness is great, if not negative a lot of times. But we were able to really kind of circumvent and remodel our image through the use of co-marketing. So an example that we have here is on the left is iAcquire did a joint study with SurveyMonkey. It essentially was on social behavior, search behavior, and mobile behavior. And what we were able to do is capitalize on SurveyMonkey's brand awareness, and also had good content, which Katie will talk about next. But we were really able to capitalize on SurveyMonkey's brand recognition and get great placements on outlets like Social Media Today, Reagan, PR News, and PR Daily. So that's one example. The second example is awesome, and many of you guys were at the conference last month, and Jason Miller was one of the speakers. He's from LinkedIn. Now he did something really cool. So he did a co-marketing partnership, connected with the leaders at Content Marketing Institute and also marketing profs. They came together, they pitched Mashable, and they said, all right, we have these three awesome organizations working together. What content do you need? So right in there, that was a placement to Mashable, exclusive content to Mashable. And they were able to get like 200,000 impressions or something crazy like that. The next thing is press releases. So press releases is a little bit, that practice is a little archaic. I remember right after I graduated from journalism school, we were still faxing press releases out, and really the way that we do press releases are very different now. So press releases that are not optimized to me are dead, but press releases that are optimized are still very valuable. And what I mean by optimize is that they include social media assets, social channels, multimedia assets, and are keyword rich, while also having kind of the fundamental principles of being newsworthy, timely, and relevant. So where to start here? First, create a list of keywords and try to tie that into your company's editorial calendar or events that are timely within your industry. From there, select a Google-friendly distribution service. I used to use PR Wire a lot, and I think I got a little slap from Google, so now I try to use Business Wire or PR Newswire as well. But yeah, you just kind of got to read up on industry news about which one is probably the best one to go with. And then from there, you'll write the release and optimize the release using 3 to 5% keyword integration. And keep in mind that you want to include cherry pick just links in there that are naturally integrated as well. Then publish the release first on your own domain, so it indexes as the originator of the content. And then from there, the wire service 24 hours after. All right, so contributor journalism. So this is awesome. I mean, you could call it guest posting too, but I like to call it contributor journalism because guest posting kind of is taboo. That word seems taboo now too. But you can't really rely 100% on pitching. It gets really tiresome, and you kind of want to vary up the inbound and outbound PR strategy that you employ, or outreach strategy that you employ. So if you're a good writer, I'd really suggest to write just one good piece of content a week and pitch it out to publications that really match up within your business's core audience. Now, if you're a crappy writer, you can utilize other tools like Clear Voice. That's my shameless plug. I'll talk to you guys a little bit about tools going forward, but to find writers in your space. Now, the next thing, I mentioned this, but make sure to perfect your pitch. So you're not going to, just like in any sort of outreach, you're not going to want to just be overly generic and not just sound like a robot. You're not going to get anywhere with that. So you want to make sure you have stats in there. You want to make sure you have either the snippet of the article or the full article, and just really establish yourself as an industry thought leader. Now, so the last point kind of just touches back on making sure, finding publications that you know have a contributor model. So that really just garners CMS access. And I was able to, I think, tweet Ariana Huffington randomly about like my love for golden doodles and dogs. She shares that love too. But that somehow, that relationship started with those tweets or whatever and being personable, and then from there emailing her and showing her my writing ability, I was able to get CMS access to Huffington Post. I can post whenever I want there. So super cool. What? Yeah, sure. We'll do trade. That's another thing that's really good. In PR, I didn't include this in the slides too, but I've been able to buddy up with a lot of PR professionals too. They don't necessarily have to be in the same industry as you, but you can do trades with content. And I do that a lot. So like I have CMS access to Huffington Post. I can post just about, I don't know, a few times a week max. But then there are other people, like I have a friend named Adam Torkelson, and he's in Utah, and he has CMS access to Forbes. So we'll do little traderoos based on PageRank, and it's really, really awesome. All right, so I'm gonna kind of cap this off with PR tools. So 2 awesome tools for getting juicy quotes. Many of you guys, have you guys heard of both of these two tools, Hero and ProfNet? Anybody? Yeah, a few of you? Anyway, it's just a great, easy way to serve as an expert source for journalists that are in need of sources. For identifying bloggers and journalists, there's Muckrack. That's another pretty popular one out there. And then Clear Voice, which is kind of the company that I work for, 50-50. But this Clear Voice is cool because it quantifies essentially the writers in a given vertical. So you'll see a score similar to Clout. And then from there, you'll be able to like research people. The example search query that I had was mobile, so you can see the writers and bloggers based on specific vertical. To track your outreach, I love InkyBee and BuzzStream. I know that Katie uses BuzzStream, I'm pretty sure, in her outreach. Just great CMS tools. And I'll end with just a quick checklist for getting inks and link. So 1, do you have the tools you need to identify, track, and reach out to the news media? 2, are you reaching out as a real, authentic human being? 3, are you developing exclusive relationships and not spraying and praying with mass pitches? And 4, do you have a good story to tell? And the last 2 really kind of lend itself to the next 2 presenters here that I'll talk about. Katie's going to talk about just creating great content, and you're going to talk about like just being a real human, really, in social media outreach. So that's it. I think we're going to do questions at the end, but.